Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with a different type of a video. I will be talking about Persona 3 Reload. Now, if you guys didn't know, I'm not like I wouldn't call myself a huge Persona fan or anything like that, but I have played, Persona 4 and 5. So, when Persona 3 Reload came out, I was like, okay, let me just, I'll play it when I get time and when when the price goes down a little bit. God damn, it's expensive. And in the recent Steam sale, I got it. It was comparatively cheaper than what it was. Still quite expensive, but comparatively cheaper. So I was like, perfect time. Let's just get this, and I got it about I think like a month ago or something when the Steam sale happened, and then I played it, or I have been playing it up until now. I recently completed it. I think like 1 or 2 days ago, and after completing it, I thought I had to make this video. Now, warning, spoiler alert, huge spoilers. If you haven't played Persona 3, or 3 Reload, anything, and you would like to avoid spoilers, do not watch this video, because I will be talking about spoilers, like huge spoilers that will spoil the whole thing for you. So, like I just wanted to warn everyone. I'm sure I've written it in the title as well. So I will be talking about the ending of this show. So, if you want to not get spoiled, and you should back out. So yeah, so I just wanted to mention that at the very beginning. Okay, so now that is out of the way, like I said, I completed it, and now I want to talk about it. I want to talk about about the ending, and how, what can I say, like how much it, I wouldn't call it affected me, but how much of a, yeah, I guess you could say how much of an effect it, I got after playing through the ending, and a few of the things I just wanted to mention. So I'm going to talk about that now. It's a fantastic game, Persona 3, as always. Like, I played Persona 5, I played Persona 4. Persona 4 quite a while ago, I don't remember that much. Persona 5 very recently. And Persona 3, now that it's out, I played it like a few days ago. So, I have an idea of what the Persona games are like and everything. And after going through the ending, like I said, I feel like I feel like I was probably kind of in an exceptional situation, because I feel like I got affected way more than I'm sure a lot of people was. Why, the reason why is because I played Persona 4 and 5 before. Now, if there's any person like me who played Persona 4 and 5 before Persona 3, I feel like they'll probably go through a lot of a very much similar experience to mine. You know what the problem was? Persona 4 and 5 has a very, like a happy type of an ending. It is like, by happy ending I mean like everyone's okay by the end, or most of the characters are okay by the end. And Persona 4, I don't really remember that much. Persona 5, I very much remember how it went, and I was expecting something similar. So what happened is that, because I already had that expectation, because I thought that is literally what Persona games are like. You just go in, fight, go through these dungeons, get personas, fuse them, fight again, and by the end of it, you defeat the main character, the enemy character or whatever, and then everything is okay. The world is saved, you're happy, everyone is happy. I thought that was how Persona games went. So it took me too damn long to realize what the hell was going on in the ending part of Persona 3. I remember realizing what was happening and what the game was, which direction it was going, when Aige starts talking about meaning of life, how she's fulfilled now, and when she starts saying stuff like, "Oh, you're tired, you can take a nap." That is when it struck me. I'm like, wait, what? What's happening? What are these dialogue? Is this going in the direction that I'm thinking it's going? And my God, and it's so weird because after that I realized all the hints that they were giving us about, I think his name is, in the anime, I think like his name is Makoto or something. I'm going to use that name for him. um like all the hints that the game has been given us about Makoto, who's going to literally die. And I just realized that after that scene, because I that never registered in my head, because I already had an expectation that everything will be fine, because that's how Persona 5 went. Everything will be okay. That's what I thought. So I automatically didn't catch up on any of those hints. One of the hints is, like, as I get to realize later on, is literally when he seals Nyx. I see a lot of people, like, commenting in, like, in a lot of the videos, like in the opening videos and the all the other stuff in the ending song video. People are writing that it was pretty obvious from then when he sealed Nyx and his health went zero. Not zero, but like health went very low. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. But you know what the problem was with that? I would never be able to understand that, because Makoto literally has a technique called Armageddon, where he uses all his HP and SP, and there's like one left in the end to deal huge amount of damage to the enemy. He does that. So I thought the whole thing with Nyx was literally that. It's just a game mechanic, I thought. There's no deeper meaning behind it. Just a game mechanic, I thought. So I didn't think about it like that. So that's one of the hints that I never caught up on. The second hint was literally 1 month later. Makoto gets up and and goes outside school, like go to the school, talks to everyone. Every single or most of the people whose social links I have maxed, they were saying something like, "Are you okay? You look very pale. Are you sick?" I never paid any attention to that. I was like, oh, it's just NPCs saying normal NPC stuff. I just thought that. Again, because in my head, I'm like, oh, everything is fine. Like, it will be a happily ever after, just like Persona 5. So I never caught that as well. So I never got any of that. I went, happily, like at the ending, part, I went happily talking to everyone who I've maxed out the social links with. Everyone talks about what they want to do with Makoto after they graduate. For example, I remember what's his name? That guy who got scholarship or something. I think the guy who used to run track. Not the one who got injured. The other guy. He left town and he sent a message saying something like, oh, let's hang out together again, that kind of thing. And every single person who I maxed the social link with, they were like, oh, let's do this after after we graduate. And I was all happily going around talking to everyone. I was a bit sad when I talked to I think, what was his name, Akinari, the sun tarot cards, the person who had like a terminal illness, that guy. I was a bit sad back then when we got to talk to his mother. She talked about a few things here and there. That was sad, but everything else was quite happy. Everything was happy. I was like going around happily talking to everyone, and then I go back home, and then they're like, all right, graduation time, go to school. The Mitsuru is giving a speech. Everyone's there, and then Mitsuru suddenly remembers that, oh, I feel like I'm forgetting something, and everyone's like, yeah, I feel like I'm forgetting something. I'm like, wow, this is such a nice scene. Everyone's going to come together now, and Mitsuru gives a speech. It gets down, everyone comes in, Koromaru comes in, and they're all running towards the roof, and on the roof there's Aigis sitting, and on Aigis's lap there's Makoto. I was like, oh wow, what a cute scene, Aigis is there, Makoto's on her lap. Oh, wow, that's cute. And then Aigis starts talking about a few things, talks about thanks Makoto, tells him a lot of things, and then she starts talking about life, what life is, what should, what fulfills someone, and stuff like this. And she starts talking about stuff like, oh, I will protect you forever, and I still didn't understand, the deeper meaning, the implications. It struck me when she starts talking about stuff like, oh, if it seems you're feeling sleepy, you can take a nap. And that is when I start feeling weird. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? um like this doesn't seem good. And that is when I little by little start picking up on the hints. And then more and more I realize what's going on when she starts talking about like what like a person should do before they die. What is the meaning of life. And she says stuff like, like, I'll be forever here protecting you, up until the very end, and stuff like that. And then that that choice comes in where this is written like, close your eyes, or something like that. And then there's like a dot dot dot, and I'm like, okay, so I see what's happening here. And okay, and like I said, it was such a short amount of time that I was able to, in the end, that I was able to process that whole information, that I feel like I was even more affected than a lot of other people would, because I'm pretty sure most of the people who played this definitely picked up on the hints. I didn't, because I had an already like an expectation of everything going well, because that's how Persona 5 went, or 4 went. Like, that is why I didn't catch on any of those hints. It just went over my head. And in the end I realized, and by that time it's too damn late. And oh god, and that is why I feel like that is why it was just so impactful to me. And I was just like, god damn it, like, why? And it was so sad. Yeah, like, you know what, like, I'll say this, like, this Persona 3 was obviously, like, it was really good. But I got the same feeling of, like, how Persona 5 and like 4 and how it was. But the ending part completely changed this into something completely different. And I now understand why, like Persona 3, like I've heard the opening of Persona 3, the old one. Like, I know why everywhere is like written Memento Mori and stuff. It makes so much sense now. Obviously Memento Mori, which means remember that you will die, or something like that. So it makes so much sense now after playing through that ending. And I have to say this, like, like, usually in Persona games I don't really, unless and until it's like the main villain or the main character, I don't really get that much of a, like, like, what can I say, like a connection between the main character, because like the main character is usually quiet, they don't really talk, and it's kind of difficult to like make like establish a proper bond between the characters if they don't really talk. um you know but like, I feel like Persona 3 did it so well, because Aegis is that one character in the end. I just realized that she, like, she was such a huge focus by the end of it, and they established such a great, I guess you could say, bond between Aegis and Makoto, where, like, that whole ending part, it was done so beautifully. Like, in no way was I expecting Aegis. And I think I now realize, like, I've seen a lot of people talk about Aegis and stuff, and when I got introduced to Aegis and everything, and we were, like, we were going out on missions and stuff, I never understood, like, the fascination of people, why people were so fascinated with Aegis. I was like, okay, she's nice, she's kind of like a robot girl, like, who doesn't understand emotions and stuff. So, normal stuff. We've seen this in so many animes and stuff, So I didn't understand why people were so crazy and so fascinated about her. And that ending scene completely established her character in such a brilliant way. Like, I was baffled. I wasn't expecting anything like that. And completely changed. I had to change my mind about, like, Aegis as a character, and the whole thing, in the end. Like, what can I say? Like, it's very fascinating to see, like, a character, like Iris, who's like a robot who doesn't understand human emotions, to become someone who literally talks about death and the meaning of life, and like, stuff like that, and what makes you fulfilled, and that whole scene. It was too damn emotional, man. That final scene with, that part. And it didn't help, while she was talking, all the we were seeing, like, all the characters, all of Makoto's friends, they're like running up the stairs, happy smiles, and then they open the door, and they're like smiling and everything, and Makoto's just there, like peacefully on Iris's lap. Like, oh my god, it's just like that whole section was so brilliantly done. Like, wow. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just absolutely amazing. I just, I loved it. I feel like, obviously the whole game was, pretty similar to a Persona experience. I played Persona 4 and 5 as well. So, it was pretty okay. That's why I'm saying I'm not a huge Persona fan. I like the game, but I wouldn't say like, oh, I'm a die-hard fan. I absolutely go insane or anything like that. I'm kind of like in the like a average, like fan, I would say. Like I'm not, that crazy that I'll just like jump on top of Persona, but I'm not that indifferent about it that I won't care about it. That's why, like when it came out, I waited for the price to go down. If I was like a die-hard fan, I probably would have just bought it then and there. So you can probably understand what type of a Persona fan I am. But even though, like I'm not that big of a Persona fan, I feel like Persona 3 of the Reload that I played recently, the ending especially, like established this game as something to me. I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this experience, and especially how that whole thing ended. Yeah, and yeah, there you go, guys. I just wanted to talk about this because I thought like like it's just an experience that I just wanted to share. Um, Yeah, and again, like I said, I probably wouldn't be this impacted by it if I played Persona 3, 4, and 5, because 3 is like, in that sense, very, in that type of thing, where the character dies in the end and you just, so from that, like the happy part, I probably wouldn't be that affected or that impacted by it. But 4 and 5 was pretty wholesome and pretty happy by the end of it. But then this happens and I'm like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. So yeah, there you go. Like everything was brilliantly done in the end, the ending, and yeah, and now I understand like the whole theme of the Persona 3, like Memento Mori, why that is the theme of the story, and you know what it is. Uh, yeah, there you go. That is it. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. Let me know what you think about it, and if you've played Persona. And I'm sure you've played Persona. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be watching this video, and you probably wouldn't reach this part. So yeah, let me know your opinions about it, and the other stuff. And yeah, so there you go. Thank you for watching, guys. This was just me talking about Persona 3 Reload. I just wanted to share this, and yeah, yeah, there you go. So thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. So yeah, that is it. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.